The galaxy had always considered Earth small and weak, a minor planet hardly worth attention. Alien fleets patrolled the edges of the solar system with arrogance, confident that humanity posed no real threat. Commander Varex, leading the largest alien fleet ever assembled against a single planet, scanned the endless void with a smug certainty. His officers laughed at the planet below, joking about how primitive Earth must be. Yet somewhere in the silence of the stars, subtle warnings whispered through the void. Sensors occasionally flickered. Communication arrays twitched. And deep beneath Earth's oceans, ancient networks stirred quietly, preparing for something that no alien intelligence could yet comprehend. Suspense filled the empty space as the audience sensed that Earth's silence was deceptive. A calm before a storm no one in the galaxy could anticipate. On Earth, General Marcus Hale stood on the observation deck of the Orbital Command Center, eyes scanning the approaching fleet. He did not speak loudly, but his mind worked with quiet intensity. Beside him, Dr. Liana Carter monitored energy readings from beneath the oceans. Ancient intelligence that humanity had discovered decades ago. "They think we are weak," Hal said softly, almost to himself. "They think we cannot respond, but they do not know what is waiting." His officers felt the tension, the weight of preparation that had remained hidden for years. Suspense hung in the air, a silent heartbeat of expectation as humanity's secret defenses activated quietly. Imperceptible to the arrogant invaders above, alien scouts began their initial approach. Their lights flashing, weapon systems calibrated. They scanned the planet, expecting easy victories and minimal resistance. But as they passed through the outer orbit, strange malfunctions occurred. Engines faltered, weapons misfired. Communication channels scrambled with interference. Officers aboard the alien vessels panicked, shouting questions and orders that fell into static. Commander Varex frowned, confused by the sudden disruptions. "What is happening?" he barked. Suspense escalated as the audience realizes that humans are not only aware but actively controlling the battlefield in ways the aliens cannot detect. Beneath the oceans, Dr. Carter guided pulses through the ancient networks, sending precise disruptions to orbital satellites and alien sensors. Humanity's preparation had been silent, invisible, and meticulous. Engineers on Earth's orbital stations adjusted weapons, keeping them ready for precise strikes. Stealth crafts lurked in hidden positions, unseen by the alien fleets, ready to strike at critical moments. Every move was calculated to sow confusion without revealing the full power that lay hidden. Suspense built as the audience watches alien ships falter while humans remain calm. Their presence felt, but not fully revealed. The first signs of visible human power appeared subtly. One alien command ship, the largest in Varex's fleet, flickered and froze in place. Its engines stopped, weapons powered down, and crew members stared at screens showing nothing but dead signals. Officers panicked, searching for explanations. The humans did not attack yet. They simply waited, letting the alien arrogance meet the first taste of reality. Orbital sensors tracked every ship, stealth drones moved unseen, and energy pulses from the oceanic intelligence subtly disrupted alien systems. Suspense became electric as the audience waits for the moment humans reveal their true force. Commander Varex ordered an emergency retreat of the command ship. But the humans anticipated every movement. Sensors, satellites, and stealth drones had mapped escape routes, predicting the alien maneuvers before they were executed. Engines sputtered again, weapons failed, and the command ship drifted helplessly. Officers shouted in disbelief. The suspense reached its peak. The aliens realized that they were facing intelligence far beyond what they had expected, species that had prepared quietly for years while the galaxy mocked them. Meanwhile, human pilots maneuvered stealth crafts into key positions around the planet. Orbital cannons hummed silently, ready to fire, while engineers double-checked every system. Hale and Carter observed calmly as their team executed a coordinated readiness, showing perfect control without revealing the full scale of power. Suspense remained thick and tense, because the audience understood that the visible strikes had not yet begun. The humans were still holding back, letting the aliens confront their first taste of chaos, measuring reactions, and preparing for the inevitable full-scale display. As the alien fleet hovered above the planet, uncertainty spread among the crews. Communications were unreliable, weapons malfunctioned, and formations broke apart. Commander Varix could feel his confidence slipping, replaced by a growing unease. The galaxy's arrogance had underestimated the quiet strength of Earth. Humans had been patient, invisible, and meticulous, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Suspense lingered like a shadow as the audience knows the storm is coming, the moment when Earth stops holding back and the full power of humanity will be revealed. The scene ended with a long, silent shot of Earth from space. The planet appeared, calm, peaceful, and quiet. Yet beneath the oceans, within orbital stations, and among hidden stealth crafts, humanity's preparation waited. The quiet threat was ready. The galaxy's laughter and arrogance had been met with patience, intelligence, and anticipation. And the first strike, when it came, would be devastating. Suspense held tight as the audience waits, knowing the moment of revelation is approaching, and that the quiet Earth is about to show the galaxy that underestimating humans was the gravest mistake it could ever make. The alien fleets hovered in the void above Earth, confused and frustrated. Engines faltered, weapons misfired, and communication channels remained unreliable. Commander Varix paced the command deck of his flagship, his confidence crumbling with every passing moment. "We should have faced a weak planet," he muttered. "Yet our systems fail before we even engage." Officers around him exchanged worried glances. The galaxy had assumed humanity was primitive, unprepared, and weak. But the events unfolding above Earth proved otherwise. Suspense filled the vacuum of space, an invisible tension that gripped both aliens and audience alike, deep beneath the oceans. Dr. Liana Carter guided pulses from the ancient intelligence, extending influence over satellites, communication arrays, and orbital sensors. The disruptions were precise, subtle, and devastating. Alien fleets could detect nothing at first. Their instruments displayed false readings, while engines and weapons suffered random failures. Humans remained invisible, silent, and patient, waiting for the perfect moment to escalate. Every malfunction and failure within the alien ranks was carefully orchestrated. Suspense built as the audience sensed that humanity's power was vast, intelligent, and hidden. Yet the aliens were helpless to counter it. Above Earth, stealth. Crafts silently moved into position, unseen by the alien scouts. Orbital weapons hummed in readiness, ready to strike at multiple points simultaneously. Human pilots and engineers executed every move with precision, coordinating with calm focus. General Marcus Hale observed the battlefield, his expression unreadable, while officers awaited his signal. The suspense of anticipation was nearly unbearable. The audience could feel the tension. Knowing that humanity was no longer merely defending, they were preparing to assert dominance. Every alien misstep was predicted, every movement anticipated, leaving the invaders increasingly nervous and cautious. Commander Varix ordered his officers to launch a probing strike, hoping to test Earth's defenses. Fighters emerged from hidden bays, engines blazing, weapons charged. Yet as soon as they entered range, malfunctions crippled them. Weapons froze. Mid-fire, engines sputtered, and targeting systems went dark. Alien pilots struggled, panicked, and collided with one another, their formations breaking apart. Varix's confidence eroded into anger. "What is happening to our ships?" He roared, but no one had an answer. The humans remained unseen, their presence only hinted at by the chaos they had orchestrated. Suspense tightened, like a noose. As the galaxy realized that Earth was not only defending it, was controlling the battlefield, Dr. Carter intensified the pulses from the oceanic intelligence, reaching deeper into alien systems. She guided stealth. Drones to infiltrate command vessels, disabling engines and communication arrays without a single visible strike. Orbital cannons readied precise volleys, yet remained on hold, awaiting the first visible engagement. Humans allowed the aliens to feel overconfident, to think they were recovering. Every subtle disruption was part of a larger plan. The suspense, for the audience and the alien forces, was electric. They sensed the calm before the storm, yet had no idea of the scale of power poised against them. Meanwhile, human pilots and stealth crafts maneuvered expertly through debris and disabled ships, preparing to strike the alien fleet from unexpected angles. Every movement was synchronized, every calculation exact. General Hale coordinated the operations with Dr. Carter, their commands invisible, yet felt across the battlefield. The aliens' sense of superiority was shattered, replaced by growing fear and confusion. Each misstep they made fed the suspense engine failure. Each malfunction, each disrupted command channel reminded them that Earth was not what they expected. The humans were patient, invisible, and deadly. The first visible signs of human power began with precision strikes. Stealth crafts targeted alien engines, orbital cannons disabled key weapons, and energy pulses from the oceanic intelligence disrupted shielding. Alien ships drifted helplessly, unable to regroup. Their crews panicked and shouting in vain. Commander Varix's arrogance evaporated, replaced by a deep and growing fear. Suspense gripped every corner of the battlefield, stretching from Earth's quiet orbital stations to the shattered alien fleets. The galaxy, watching from afar, began to realize that humanity was not simply defending, was rising with intelligence and preparation that none had anticipated. General Hale allowed a moment of quiet satisfaction. "They think they can recover," he said to Dr. Carter, "but every move they make only confirms our control." Carter nodded, guiding the final pulses and positioning stealth crafts for maximum impact. Human strategy was no longer hidden, it was becoming undeniable. Alien officers frantically attempted to salvage their fleets, but each effort failed. Ships collided, weapons misfired, and morale began to crumble. Suspense built to a crescendo as the audience sensed the tipping point, the moment when Earth would move from silent disruption to active. Undeniable dominance was near by the end of the day. The alien forces were scattered and demoralized. Their initial confidence had turned into panic and fear. Engines were crippled, weapons disabled, and communications scrambled. Humans remained invisible yet fully in control, orchestrating chaos with perfect timing. The suspense of the silent awakening had transformed into a tense anticipation for the first full strike. The galaxy was beginning to understand the danger it had overlooked for too long. Earth, quiet and patient, had revealed the first hints of its hidden power, and the aliens would soon discover that underestimating humanity had been their gravest mistake. The alien fleets had expected an easy victory, but now confusion and fear ruled their ranks. Ships drifted, weapons misfired, and engines stuttered. Commander Varix's confidence had vanished, replaced by frustration and panic. He barked orders for formation, repair, and counterattacks, but nothing worked. The humans had remained invisible until now, and the first signs of their true power were about to become painfully clear. Suspense gripped the galaxy as it watched the once proud alien fleets falter. Unsure of the source of their sudden misfortune, from orbit, human forces moved with precision and calm control. Stealth crafts, invisible to alien sensors, struck first. Engines on key alien vessels failed mid-flight. Shields flickered and collapsed, leaving ships exposed. Orbital cannons fired silently in perfect timing, taking out weapons arrays and communication hubs. Humans had predicted every move, every attempt at counterattack, leaving the alien fleets in chaos. Every alien officer scrambled in confusion, shouting orders that never reached the pilots, while human strategists guided the battle with surgical accuracy. Suspense built as the audience saw the aliens, growing fear and helplessness. General Marcus Hale monitored every action from the orbital command center. Beside him, Dr. Liana Carter coordinated pulses from the oceanic intelligence. "Movement we predicted," she said quietly. "They cannot escape this." Our eyes scanned energy readings and ship telemetry, confirming that each strike was successful. Human pilots already in position maneuvered through debris and malfunctioning alien ships, attacking weak points without exposing themselves. The suspense of anticipation transformed into action. The first visible impact of humanity's power had begun, and it was devastating. Alien reinforcements tried to organize. Fighters surged forward, capital ships adjusted positions, and Varex's flagship attempted to restore order, yet every move was anticipated. Stealth drones disabled engines before fighters could reach targets. Pulses from the ocean scrambled targeting systems, causing weapons to misfire or jam entirely. Orbital cannons fired with perfect precision, hitting multiple ships simultaneously. Every alien plan crumbled under human preparation and intelligence. The suspense was nearly unbearable. The audience felt the weight of the unstoppable force. Now revealed, the first major visible destruction struck the alien command fleet. A stealth craft infiltrated the largest ship, disabling shields, weapons, and engines within minutes. Smoke and sparks erupted, sending alien officers into panic. Other stealth crafts followed, striking secondary command ships with precision. Alien fleets tried to regroup, but every attempt failed. Engines failed again, weapons systems malfunctioned, and communications remained scrambled. Commander Varex's face grew pale as he realized that humans were not just defending, they were dictating the battlefield. Suspense reached its peak as the audience understood the full scale of humanity's emergence. Above Earth, orbital weapons unleashed volleys at selected alien ships, timed perfectly to exploit their weak points. Alien fighters were destroyed before they could respond. Capital ships drifted helplessly, shields gone, engines dead, weapons useless. Human pilots coordinated with orbital systems, striking with intelligence and patience. Every alien effort to retaliate was crushed before it could even begin. The suspense was intense. The aliens, the galaxy, and the audience alike felt the shock of a species previously underestimated now. Revealed in full force, Dr. Carter's pulses extended further, disrupting remaining alien reinforcements. Systems failed, weapons misfired, and communication channels became useless. Humans remained invisible for now, their strategy relying on anticipation and timing rather than brute force. Even as alien ships attempted retreat or regrouping, they found themselves trapped in a carefully orchestrated net of attacks. The suspense was electric. The first visible strikes had begun. But the humans' full power was still held in reserve, like a quiet storm ready to overwhelm completely. Commander, Varex attempted one final desperate maneuver. He ordered his remaining fighters to converge on a stealth craft detected in the outer orbit. Engines flared, weapons charged, but nothing worked. Stealth drones had already disabled engines, and orbital cannons struck with lethal timing. Fighters exploded in space, capital ships lost power, and alien crews were paralyzed with disbelief. The suspense was almost unbearable. No one in the galaxy had ever witnessed such coordinated, precise, and patient destruction. Humanity had turned the tide entirely, and the alien fleets were now helpless against the invisible hand guiding the battle. By the end of the engagement, alien morale had collapsed completely. Ships drifted lifelessly, command structures were destroyed, and officers surrendered in disbelief. Humans had transformed from unseen defenders into unstoppable forces, striking with precision, intelligence, and patience. The suspense of the initial silent war had evolved into undeniable dominance. The galaxy now had to acknowledge the unexpected and terrifying power of Earth. Humans had struck back, and the consequences would reverberate across the stars. General Hale and Dr. Carter watched the battlefield settle. They believed they could win, Hale said quietly, watching the disabled alien fleets. They thought we were weak. Now they know they were wrong. Carter nodded, her attention on the remaining energy readings. The suspense had shifted from anticipation to total recognition. The humans were no longer underestimated, and the galaxy had been shown the devastating truth of Earth's patient preparation. The first visible strike had been just the beginning. The alien fleets were reeling from humanity's first visible strikes. Ships drifted aimlessly, engines failing, and weapon systems destroyed. Commander Varex's confidence had dissolved entirely, replaced by rising panic and disbelief. Shouted orders to regroup, to coordinate reinforcements, and to stabilize command ships, but nothing worked. Every alien maneuver was anticipated, neutralized, encountered by humans who remained unseen yet fully in control. Suspense thickened across the battlefield as the audience realized the aliens' arrogance had been completely shattered. The galaxy was witnessing the rise of a force it had thought weak and primitive. From orbit, General Marcus Hale oversaw the orchestration of humanity's counteroffensive. Stealth crafts moved silently through debris, striking isolated ships and crippling engines. Orbital weapons fired in perfect timing, each strike calculated to maximize chaos and minimize collateral damage to Earth. Dr. Liana Carter coordinated pulses from the ancient oceanic intelligence, subtly jamming alien communications and targeting systems. Every alien attempt at regrouping or repairing damage failed. Suspense reached a new height. The audience could sense that the tide of battle had fully turned. And yet the humans still held back their full power, letting the aliens feel the sharp edge of uncertainty. The aliens, desperate to regain pride, attempted to form a concentrated counterattack. Fighter squadrons surged forward, while capital ships adjusted positions to protect command vessels. Commander Varix barked orders with a mixture of anger and fear. "Cannot let them destroy us," he roared. Yet the humans had anticipated. The stealth drones infiltrated key ships, disabling engines before fighters could approach. Energy pulses from oceanic intelligence scrambled weapon systems, causing entire squadrons to misfire or self-destruct. Orbital cannons struck with precision, cutting down enemy reinforcements before they reached critical positions. Suspense gripped the audience. Every alien strategy failed. Every desperate attempt crushed under unseen hands. Despite the chaos, the aliens tried one more tactic. A massive coordinated strike aimed at Earth's orbital stations. Hundreds of ships surged toward the planet, weapons primed, engines blazing, but human pilots and stealth crafts anticipated every vector. Orbital cannons targeted the leading vessels with perfect timing, neutralizing them before they reached firing range. Stealth drones disabled engines and weapons on multiple command ships, leaving them helpless. Alien formations collapsed, pilots panicked, and the once proud fleets became drifting ruins. Suspense escalated. The galaxy could now see that Earth was not simply defending, but asserting complete control over the battlefield. Dr. Carter guided the final pulses to ensure all alien communication channels were jammed. Without coordination, the fleets became fragmented and vulnerable. Humans struck from multiple angles, each attack precise and calculated. Alien ships collided, exploded, or drifted powerless through space. Commander Varix watched helplessly as his entire force disintegrated under the invisible pressure of human intelligence and preparation. The suspense was unbearable. The audience could feel the final collapse of alien pride, the moment when their arrogance was shattered completely. On Earth, General Hale reviewed the damage reports. "They believed themselves invincible," he said quietly, almost to himself. "They mocked us. They thought we were weak. And now every alien officer knows they were wrong." Human pilots, stealth crews, and orbital engineers moved calmly, executing the final dismantling of alien formations. Each strike was deliberate, intelligent, and deadly, ensuring the aliens could not recover or regroup. Suspense lingered. The galaxy had never seen a force so precise, so patient, and so entirely in control. As the alien fleets scattered, entire civilizations began to take notice. Messages from fleeing ships reached nearby systems, describing the unexpected and devastating power of humans. The galaxy, once dismissive, now watched in awe and fear. Suspense extended beyond the battlefield itself. Civilizations began to anticipate the rise of Earth as a dominant galactic force. Every failure, every destroyed fleet, and every helpless officer contributed to the growing recognition that humans were no longer minor players, but a power that demanded respect and caution. Even with alien morale collapsing, Commander Varix attempted one last desperate move, a concentrated strike on the orbital control center. Hundreds of ships accelerated toward Earth, their weapons primed, but every approach was predicted. Orbital cannons fired in perfect synchronization. Stealth crafts disabled engines and weapons systems. Energy pulses from the oceans jammed targeting controls. Ships exploded mid-flight, weapons misfired, and entire squadrons drifted powerless. The suspense was nearly unbearable. The aliens, the galaxy, and the audience all realized the full extent of humanity's patience, intelligence, and tactical supremacy. By the end of the engagement, alien fleets were scattered, demoralized, and broken. Command structures had been destroyed, critical vessels disabled, and officers in disbelief. Humans, calm and patient, had orchestrated the complete dismantling of pride and power that the galaxy had long assumed was untouchable. The suspense of the initial encounter had evolved into a clear recognition. Earth was now a dominant force. Unseen until this moment, precise and deadly, completely in control. General Hale and Dr. Carter watched from orbit as the remnants of the alien fleets retreated. "They will never forget this," Hala said quietly. "The galaxy has learned the cost of underestimating humans." Dr. Carter nodded, monitoring remaining energy signals from the oceans and satellites. Every civilization that witnessed these events would remember. The underestimated planet had not only defended itself, but had shattered the pride of the galaxy's most confident fleets. Suspense lingered, a quiet warning echoing across the stars. Earth was no longer to be mocked, ignored, or underestimated. The surviving alien fleets had retreated, battered and confused, yet desperation burned in their ranks. Commander Varix refused to accept defeat, ordering his remaining ships to regroup for a final concentrated counterstrike. Hundreds of alien fighters surged forward, capital ships aligning to protect their command vessels. The galaxy watched with tension. This was the moment that would determine whether humanity's rising dominance could withstand the last, desperate push. Suspense hung thickly. As both the aliens and the audience understood, the stakes Earth's defenses were ready, and every move of the attackers would be anticipated. From orbital command stations, General Marcus Hale oversaw the battlefield with calm precision. Stealth crafts moved silently into position, invisible to alien sensors. Orbital cannons hummed, their targeting systems locked on every incoming vessel. Dr. Leanna Carter guided oceanic intelligence pulses, jamming communications, scrambling weapons, and disrupting engines before ships could fire. Every detail of the alien counterstrike had been predicted and prepared for. The suspense was electric, the audience felt. The tension of watching a seemingly hopeless alien attack collide with a carefully orchestrated human response. As the alien fleet approached, the first wave of attacks was neutralized before it even reached firing range. Engines sputtered, shields collapsed, and weapons misfired across multiple squadrons. Stealth crafts infiltrated critical vessels, disabling engines and weapon systems with surgical precision. Orbital cannons targeted capital ships, striking at weak points that had been calculated months in advance. Panic spread among the alien crews as their final plan began to crumble. Commander Varix's confidence turned into desperation, then into disbelief as he realized that the humans had foreseen every strategy. Suspense intensified. The audience watched a complete reversal of what the aliens had once assumed would be an easy victory. The second wave of alien ships attempted to adapt, shifting formations and concentrating fire on specific human targets. But humans anticipated this too. Stealth drones moved unseen through debris and disabled ships, striking at command vessels and engines simultaneously. Pulses from the oceanic intelligence scrambled targeting systems, causing weapons to jam or explode prematurely. Fired again with perfect timing, neutralizing reinforcements before they could reach the battle's center. Every alien effort failed, each maneuver predicted and countered. Suspense reached its peak. The aliens were fighting desperately, yet every attempt only confirmed the humans' total control. Commander Varix, then realizing the futility of conventional tactics, ordered a bold attack on the orbital command center. Hoping to disable the humans' coordination, hundreds of ships accelerated toward Earth, weapons primed for destruction, yet every approach was intercepted. Stealth crafts infiltrated the lead vessels, engines disabled, weapons systems jammed. Orbital cannons fired in perfect synchronization, destroying critical ships mid-flight. Energy pulses scrambled targeting controls across the fleet, leaving entire squadrons drifting helplessly in space. The suspense was unbearable. The aliens could see the futility of their desperate strike. It had no means to stop it. Amid the chaos, human pilots executed precise strikes with intelligence and patience. Fighters moved through debris fields, taking out isolated command ships. Capital ships, their engines disrupted, became sitting targets for orbital weapons. Every alien attempt to regroup failed as humans anticipated moves in advance. General Hale observed from the command center, calm and collected, while Dr. Carter monitored energy pulses that continued to cripple the enemy's systems. Suspense for the audience was heightened by the contrast between the aliens' frantic actions and the humans' calm, precise control. The final wave of alien reinforcements tried to concentrate power at the center of the battlefield. Ships approached in unison, hoping to break the humans' orbital defenses. But stealth crafts, orbital cannons, and oceanic intelligence pulses struck simultaneously, neutralizing the entire formation. Engines failed, weapons exploded prematurely, and communication channels remained jammed. Alien pilots shouted in panic as their ships collided or drifted powerless through space. Commander Varex's pride and arrogance had been shattered completely. Suspense transitioned into all the humans had transformed from quiet defenders. Two total controllers of the battlefield. By the end of the counterstrike, alien morale was completely broken. Remaining ships drifted lifelessly, engines offline, weapons destroyed. Officers surrendered, realizing their forces were not only defeated but completely dismantled. Humans, patient and precise, had orchestrated a perfect neutralization of the final, desperate attack. Suspense shifted into recognition. The galaxy had witnessed the rise of a species it had underestimated for centuries. Earth was no longer weak, quiet, or unprepared. Humanity had crushed the counterstrike and established its dominance with intelligence, patience, and precision. General Hale watched the battlefield settle. Orbital screens showing drifting, powerless alien vessels. They believed a final strike could change anything, he said quietly. But they underestimated patience, planning, and intelligence. They underestimated us. Dr. Carter nodded, her eyes scanning remaining energy signals to ensure that no threat remained. Humans had demonstrated not just strength, but the careful strategy that made that strength unstoppable. Suspense lingered in the galaxy as surviving civilizations began to understand the consequences. The underestimated planet had proven its dominance, and any future threat would face a species prepared, patient, and deadly. The aliens, retreating and defeated, would carry stories of humanity's power across the stars. Every civilization that witnessed the events understood the new reality. Earth was a force no one could challenge lightly. Suspense for the audience was replaced with awe and anticipation what humans would do next, now that they had revealed their dominance. It was a question that hung in every corner of the galaxy. The counterstrike had failed, crushed not by chance, but by careful preparation, strategy, and patience. Is leaving the galaxy trembling before the quiet but unstoppable power of Earth. The alien fleets were scattered, their pride and morale shattered. Commander Vorex, once arrogant and confident, now sat pale and defeated on the bridge of his crippled flagship. Every move he had attempted had been anticipated, every strategy crushed before it could take effect. The galaxy had witnessed a new reality. Earth was no longer weak, and humanity was no longer underestimated. The suspense of waiting for the final resolution was electric, both for the audience and for the remaining alien forces drifting helplessly in space from orbit. General Marcus Hale coordinated the final stage of the operation. Stealth crafts moved through debris, ensuring that no alien vessel could escape or regroup. Orbital cannons targeted the last operational ships with surgical precision, while Dr. Leanna Carter guided the ancient oceanic intelligence to disrupt engines, shields, and weapon systems across every remaining alien vessel. Humans moved quietly, with calm authority, their patience and strategy converting complete destruction into controlled, precise dominance. Suspense remained. As the galaxy waited to see the ultimate display of Earth's power, alien officers tried to salvage what remained of their forces, but every effort failed. Engines refused to start, shields flickered and collapsed, and weapons jammed. Pilots shouted in panic, trying to follow orders, but communication channels had been fully neutralized. Stealth crafts slipped through defenses, striking key vessels, and leaving entire squadrons helpless. Orbital cannons fired again with perfect timing, ensuring no alien ship could recover. Commander Varix realized that every move he made had been predicted, and that humanity's control over the battlefield was complete. Suspense had transformed into undeniable recognition. Earth had achieved total dominance. The final engagements were swift but devastating. Capital ships exploded in bursts of fire and debris. Fighter squadrons drifted helplessly, and command vessels powered down under human control. Stealth crafts disabled critical systems silently, ensuring that no alien vessel could fire a single shot. Pulses from the oceanic intelligence extended further, reaching even distant ships and scramblers, leaving the alien forces completely incapacitated. Every move was deliberate, every strike measured. The suspense for the audience had been replaced. With Authis was a species that had prepared for centuries, hidden its power, and now revealed it fully. General Hale and Dr. Carter watched from orbit as the last alien vessels powered down. They underestimated patience, intelligence, and planning, Hale said quietly. They thought they could win with strength and numbers alone. They were wrong. Carter nodded, monitoring energy signals and ensuring that no threat remained. Humans had not simply destroyed the fleets, they had demonstrated control, precision, and dominance in a way the galaxy could not ignore. Suspense lingered in the form of anticipation. What message would this send across the stars? Reports began to flow from nearby civilizations. Every surviving alien fleet carried tales of humanity's calculated patience, invisible strategy, and devastating power. The galaxy that had laughed at Earth now trembled in awe and fear. Leaders of other civilizations began to reconsider their assumptions, realizing that the underestimated planet had proven its intelligence, strength, and tactical supremacy. Suspense became a quiet warning echoing across star systems. The age of underestimating humanity was over, and any threat would face the full patient and precise might of Earth. In the Orbital Command Center, Hale and Carter reviewed the aftermath. Stealth crafts returned, orbital cannons powered down, and energy pulses from the oceans stabilized. The battlefield, once chaotic and deadly, was now calm under human control. They will tell their stories, Hale said. Every fleet, every officer, they will remember. Earth is no longer a planet to mock, Carter added quietly, and we must remain ready. The galaxy will watch, and the next challenge may come from anywhere. The suspense shifted to a larger stage. Humanity's victory was complete, but vigilance remained essential. The alien forces retreated toward distant systems, powerless, demoralized, and humiliated. Their pride, once enormous, had been shattered completely by an enemy they had assumed weak. The galaxy's arrogance had met patience, intelligence, and preparation, and the result was undeniable. Humans had orchestrated the destruction of superior fleets with a calm, calculated dominance that left no room for doubt. Suspense had evolved into recognition. Earth had become a force to be respected, feared, and never underestimated. As the smoke and debris drifted through space, Hale and Carter observed silently. Earth had won, but the victory was more than military, it was a message. Every civilization, every fleet, and every officer now knew the cost of arrogance, the power of patience, and the intelligence behind humanity's strategy. The suspense of anticipation had transformed into lasting awe and fear. Humanity had not only survived the galaxy's test, they had set a new standard, proving that the underestimated could rise and dominate beyond imagination. The final moment came when the last alien command ship powered down completely, its lights fading into the darkness of space. The galaxy now knew the truth. Earth was strong, prepared, and utterly capable. Humans had stopped holding back, and the galaxy had witnessed the consequences. General Hale looked at Dr. Carter and said quietly, "The lesson has been learned. We will never be underestimated again." Carter nodded, and together they observed the calm of space. A calm that now carried the warning and the memory of Earth's unstoppable power.